This vehicle is the FV215B183. This is a British Tier 10 tank destroyer, and the map is Kharkov. It's easy to confuse this for a heavy tank that has a similar name, which is also called the FV215B, which is a rear-mounted heavy tank. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get marks of excellence. I have a lot of tanks. I don't know how many I have, but it's got to be around 300 tanks, and I've won all the prizes, and I've done almost everything in the game, except for I haven't won the Chimera or the Object 279, but I am working on getting marks of excellence for all of my tanks, and I'm going to explain to you how I did it, or how I'm doing it. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm starting out with the lower tier vehicles. And the reason why has to do with the crew skills. If you work with your lower tier vehicles, you're going to be leveling up those crew skills. I don't know if there's a guy there. And the presumption is that when I move up into the higher tiers, I'll have better crew skills. So that's the reason why I start with the lower tiers. And another reason why is because it's cheaper to buy lower tier vehicles. So I can buy a lot of lower tier vehicles. Oh, they are there. I don't know if I can hit them. Yep, I guess the answer is yes. So the other thing that I do is I don't pay gold to train my crew members. What I do is I pay the silver, and what happens is you get a wide range of training percentage, and sometimes when you pay silver, you get your crew trained to 100%. Often it's like 96%, sometimes it's lower. Oh, look, we got some tanks over there in the back. Look at those bad boys. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to penetrate him. He's not my type. So another thing that I do is I try to do my premium tanks first. And again, part of it is so that I can train my crew. And the other thing is, when you pay the silver to get your crew onto a regular tank, you can use the premium tank to level it up to 100%. There's a chance that that tank is back there. I don't know if I should blind fire him or not. But he's going to be right there. Scores 2 to 3. I only did 1,000 damage so far. So I decided to go with the... Nah, you know what? He was outside of my spotting range. So I don't know how I got spotted. Oh, did I get spotted through there? Wow. So another thing that I do is, although I prefer to focus on one tank and only level up that tank, there's advantages to doing that. You get less in terms of daily bonuses. So lately I've been playing to get all of the daily bonuses. Oh, nice. I hit him for 439. When you focus on one tank, one of the advantages is that you can use your improved equipment without having to pay to constantly demount it. So those are the different issues. It's better to play the same tank over and over and over again, or a small number like 2 or 3 tanks over and over again, in order to go for your gun marks. Except for the fact you're going to lose that 2 times bonus, for your daily victory. Nice. 1,110, and I got hit for 1058. Totally worth it. So I got hit by the SPG. I'm going to mark on the minimap where the SPG is. So the other thing is, it's really easy to get the first gun mark. The first gun mark takes me about 50 or 60 games, and I don't use gold rounds. Getting the second gun mark, not impossible, but it's going to take you a little bit more work. It's just going to advance more slowly to get that second gun mark. I do have 2 gun marks on some of my tanks, and I've got 1 gun mark on a lot of my tanks. And the ones that I have 2 gun marks on, I wasn't trying to get the second gun mark, except for one particular tank, which is a French SPG. The other ones I got is a Jagdtiger 8.8 and some light tanks. But again, I wasn't trying, I was just playing the tank. The light tanks I do very well, so I'm going to get the gun marks easily with the light tanks. If you've been watching me over the years, you know that I'm one of the top light tank players. Everyone's laughing right now. So focusing on, if you have a lot of tanks, you're going to have issues. My advice, try to do a small number of tanks at a time. And just skip the 2 times bonus. We happen to have a 5 times bonus this weekend because it's like Labor Day or something. And you should be celebrating Labor Day, especially if you're unemployed. 2,600 damage. The other thing I do is I check over here after the games to see how I'm doing on the gun marks. Like, this is at 59%. I got a lot of tanks at around 60%. It'll take me 3 games to get the gun mark on this, because I can get like 1.5 if you get 3 good games in a row. This one's at 62. I had this at 64.5 and it dropped down. So here's one that's at 71%. I haven't tried to get the gun marks on this. It just is a coincidence that it's that high. The other issue is you have to decide, are you going to play with gold rounds or not? If you do, you have an advantage in that you're going to complete it faster. If you don't, you might have to do extra games to get the second gun mark or the third gun mark to make up for the times you didn't play with the gold rounds and the consumables, etc. It's very competitive to get the third gun mark. You gotta play your best game. You can't goof around. The amount of damage for some tanks jumps up dramatically. And I have some vehicles like the KV-220-2, which for some reason it's really hard to get a gun mark on, and it's a crappy tank. And I think it's because it's got a bad gun. Everyone's firing gold on it. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.